Hello and welcome to the Tea Party Heidi channel. This is a review of Netflix's third animated release called Over the Moon 2020 release, directed by Glenn Keane of Walt Disney Animation fame. He's moved over to Netflix. He's joined the dark side. Not to say that Disney isn't the dark side anymore. Anyway, okay, so what's the deal with this movie? Is it woke? Of course it's woke. It's on Netflix. What would you expect? But Glenn Keane directed it. Doesn't matter. It's, oh my God, it woke. Okay, proof that it's woke. Okay, so from what I can tell, since I cannot read Chinese or Japanese, it appears to be taking place in China from what I've read. All of the written language in the movie is in Chinese. In the schools and on the books and all that stuff is all in Chinese. And the characters, it takes place in China, and you see the Chinese castles and things like that. Okay, that's not woke. But what is woke is they all act American. They're in China, and every single character acts completely American. They don't act Canadian, they don't act Brazilian, they don't act Chinese. They act American. Some would call that cultural appropriation. So the people who are railing about how wrong it is to do cultural appropriation need to have a chat with these people if they actually mean what they say, but we know they don't. Okay, other examples that it's woke. The cast is all voiced in an animated feature, mind you, by people with Asian last names minus like 3 or 4 people. That is completely racist. You've got them having American accents. They don't even do Chinese accents. You've got them cast entirely, give or take 3 or 4, by people with Asian last names. Tell me that isn't racist. Racist means you said one group is superior to the other, and they said you are superior to even playing rabbits and blobby things, etc. I don't know what that blobby thing was supposed to be. But anyway, he's one of the sidekicks, but I don't know what he's supposed to be. So you've got female-led story with all the main characters being female, which doesn't make it woke. But you have the all-female-led characters. What makes it woke? Well, the men are portrayed as absolute idiots except for the father. At least the father gets away with being completely benign. But the engineer who's working on a bullet train doesn't know how a bullet train functions? No, that's woke. That's really woke. All right. Other examples. You have, let's see. Okay, so leaving the woke thing and just getting back into the movie. But yeah, it's definitely woke. Is the story any good? The story's weird. Okay, when she goes and she builds a rocket and she launches it to the moon, it's an epic fail. But don't worry, the moon goddess is real and she will rescue the girl and her not brother. Though the not brother keeps thinking he is the brother. It's like, dude, you're not her brother. Lighten up. Anyway, so they get rescued. They get taken to the moon, which is very much like a video game and heavily tilts towards Tron. And I don't think Glenn Keane was working on Tron, but I could be wrong about that. But it goes way Tron there. So it starts out like Little Mermaid, with songs about mooncakes, which is like, this is the dumbest thing to sing about, but okay. They had to do something to add life to the scene of rolling out dough. Okay, so then they go to the moon, and then when the goddess shows up, suddenly she turns into a rap star with way too much auto-tune. Ooh, more cultural appropriation. Now, first you steal from the Americans with the American accents and American attitudes, and now you're going to steal from the Africans. Oh my God. These people do not live by their own standards by any stretch of the imagination. So now she's auto-tuned singing and with rap beat. And it's just like, whatever. Okay. The side characters. There's a little white rabbit that turns out to be a girl. Fine. Another female character. And she meets this boy rabbit and he's like, okay, you realize they're rabbits. Are they going to show that on camera? Because, you know, this is the channel that showed cuties, so please don't. No. They don't show it, so there's a spoiler. You don't have to worry about the rabbits acting like rabbits. But they do fall in love. surprise to no one. Okay, and then you have this yellow blob character. And the yellow blob character who's from the moon couldn't be any more of a ripoff of the snowman from Let It Go, from Frozen. And the songs, there's songs that sound like they're from Frozen. There's songs that sound like they're from Zootopia, particularly the rap song. And then there's the songs at the beginning that sound like Little Mermaid, teeny bit like Beauty and the Beast. So everything is derivative, in other words. So it's completely woke. It's derivative as heck. But I will say this. When you have the clash between Tron and Little Mermaid, they did take chances. I will give them a salute for taking chances with the storyline and the animation. But they lose points by having an all-Asian cast playing American-styled attitudes with characters taking place in modern-day China. That's just completely racist. Is that the way it's going to be now? All of our movies that take place in London, they're going to have American accents, and none of them, and they all have to be actors from London, or British last names, but with American accents and American attitudes. I mean, well, it's funny because Witches just came out. I did not bother with it. Because basically that's exactly what they did with Witches. They took it out of England, they put it into Georgia, or was it Alabama? No, I think it was Georgia. And yeah, no, stop it. Just stop it. You can tell stories without being just so freaking racist. It's horrible. It's a cartoon. Have anybody you want do it. It's called acting. You know, if you're going to just have everybody play themselves, that's called a documentary, which has its place in the world. But it's not to be confused with acting. So it's very frustrating. Anyway, so all that being said, is it worth a watch? I think if you're into the arts, as in the visual arts, you should watch it just to see the creativity and, you know, the Alice in Wonderland scene where the frogs are flying through outer spaces. That's pretty trippy. You will definitely want to get high in this. Even if you're not a person who does get high, it's like, this is the movie that I'm supposed to be high in, huh? Yes, it is. So art people will like it. People who are struggling, it's like, oh, I can't think outside the box. This movie jumps outside the box, all the way to the moon. So you can do that. But please stay away from the American attitudes taking place in modern-day China with an all-Asian cast and all female leads and the men who are engineers are idiots. Just stay away from that trope, cliche, Hollywood-hating American attitude. It's so unattractive. Would I recommend this movie to anybody beyond those groups? Nope. You know, I only watched it because Klaus came out last year. And Klaus was pretty good. It was weird because they spent all that time and effort doing 2D animation to make Klaus, and yet they made the characters stylized as if they were computer animation. I'm like, that seems like a gigantic waste of time. But it was a good story, and it was really fun. It had some... It was creative, and it went in directions that I had just spent a couple of days before Klaus came out telling people, you know, they've done all the stories that you can do on Christmas. They just recycle them, and you hope you like the recycling. And then Klaus comes along and is like, wow, this is not recycled. This is actually a brand new story. And that was very amazing and highly pleasant. Then you come to this story, it's like, okay, this is completely derivative of all the movies already stated and music already ripped off, etc. So, no. The only thing that it gets the brownie points for is the juxtapositions from mixing those movies together and songs together. Am I going to watch it again? Nope. Did I hate it? No, I didn't hate it. The little brother was funny. The not little brother. He's funny. And for some reason, they give him a little bit more of the American eye shape. Don't know what's going on with that. More racist stuff going on behind the scenes. So there's the state of Hollywood in the pandemic, releasing woke garbage through Netflix that luckily you don't have to pay for if you have a Netflix subscription. It's just all included. But it's no Klaus, let me tell you. It is definitely no Klaus. It's nice to see Glenn Keane getting a paycheck again, but they're treating him Just like they treated the guy from Pixar. Oh, you hug too much, you're fired. And then with Glenn Clean, it's like, oh, you better make sure that we do the casting with all Asian people, even if they're not really from China. That really doesn't matter. We can bring Japanese and Vietnamese. It doesn't matter. As long as they got that eye shape, that's all we care about, because we're the total racist here at Netflix. Yes, yes, they are. They scream about how middle America is all racist Trump lovers and all this stuff. It's like, if you want to know what a racist looks like, Hollywood folk, start with the mirror. It will answer the question real quick when you do things like this. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the future.